Welcome back to Chaminade High School. Matt Shortis and Dylan Butler along with our whole crew here for the annual battle for Reed's Rock at Chaminade High School. Chaminade and Manhasset, a matchup of two of the top 10 teams in our News 12 Varsity Tri-State poll. Chaminade at number 7 team in the Tri-State, 10-2 on the season, coached by Keith Cromwell, a Hicksville grad in his first season, coming over from Locust Valley. The starting lineup for the Indians, it'll be John Silos, Logan Hyde, and Kevin Mack at the attack. First line midfield of Luke Pastiglione, Aiden Mulholland, Steve Schneider, and the close defense of Parisi Arnold, as well as Ben Cirilla. Brendan Haggerty has been phenomenal between the pipes for Manhasset this year. Chaminade, the number 2 team in our poll, 8-2 on the year. Of course, Jack Moran in his 38th season. The starting lineup for the Flyers of Pat Cavanaugh, Regan Quinn, and Aiden Burns. The attack first line midfield of Shane Gallagher, Matt Cummel, and Joe DeLira. Close defense of Kellen Paradine, Dominic Doria, and Frank Marinello. And Andrew Bonafide, the Duke-bound junior, between the pipes for Chaminade.
You got it all in. That was impressive.
It's Chaminade, the home team of the white, but the face-off is won by Manhasset, as it's Marco Silos, the freshman, coming away with the face-off win to start us off.
Yeah, Silos did such a great job, and the 131st edition of the Woodstick against Kieran Gunn of Garden City really set the tempo for Manhasset, gave them those much important extra possessions, which also led to their victory a week ago.
The face-off's a huge question mark at the beginning of this season for Manhasset, but Silos, along with the senior Polano, they've pushed each other and made that somewhat of a strength for the Indians. Coming off a 14-4 win over Southside earlier in the week. Again, riding high after that victory in the Woodstick. And the first offensive possession for Manhasset, Pastiglione, the Hartford-bound senior. 5 points on the season. A big three-headed monster for Manhasset. Here's Glenn, 11 points so far this year. Glenn, a shot going wide, a battle to the near side, and it'll stay with Manhasset. They changed the signal to be Chaminade ball.
Yeah, you're right, though, about their attack. You've got Silos, John Silos, that is, Kevin Mack, Steve Schneider's a big part of that as well, and it's remarkable to think that they've had the output that they've had offensively without arguably their best attackman in Jack Keogh, who has been out with an ankle after ankle surgery.
And Keogh's still wearing that boot. Keith Cromwell said, we're not sure if we're going to get him back at any point this year. So Chaminade gets their first possession of the game. Chaminade, almost the antithesis of Manhasset. Manhasset kind of, historically, they've been that settled 6-on-6 team. They're opening it up a little bit more this year under Keith Cromwell, but Chaminade has one of the best defensive units in the tri-state area.
Oh, absolutely. They're led by Frankie Tangretti, who is just awesome at that close defense, and we've seen them a few times. Their key defensively is to get in on other teams' hands and just make them play faster than they want. It happened against St. Anthony's here. It also happened out at Ward Melville, 2 big wins for the Flyers.
Junior Pat Cavanaugh getting a touch. Plays very much like his older brother Matt, a little dynamo, but you never know quite what he's going to do athletically. Up top, here's Chris Kuhn, and Kuhn will put it through. Chaminade on the board first.
Yeah, Kuhn got himself a little bit of space and bounce shot from the top. And a good start for the Flyers as Kuhn gets the goal.
Just the 3rd goal of the season for the senior, bound for Air Force. And Chaminade on top, 1-0. So back to the face-off X we go. A windy day here at Gold Star Alumni Stadium on the Chaminade campus. 2 for 2 on face-offs is Manhasset. Steve Schneider, the ground ball. Schneider swims past a defender, shoots high and scores. Steve Schneider, just 15 seconds after Chaminade scored, ties it up at 1.
And you credit the wing play off the face-off because Giovanetti actually looked like he had it won. The wings come in, they fly in, they get the ground ball, and then Schneider just bursts up the field A fantastic solo effort for Stevie Schneider, and we are all tied at 1.
We mentioned that three-headed attack monster. Schneider, the most dangerous threat out of the midfield, is 26th goal of the season for Manhasset. Coming off a 5-point performance, a goal and 4 assists against Southside. And he's played some fantastic lacrosse, had the 4 goals against Garden City in the Woodstick. And a procedure against Manhasset. Chaminade will have it. Picked up by Joe DeLira, and then DeLira shuffles off. Of course, the number 19 center stage on this day, as both these teams play to raise money for the Ranger Lead the Way Foundation in memory of Jimmy Regan, who grew up in Manhasset, played at Chaminade, played at Duke, and was killed overseas serving our country as an Army Ranger.
Yeah, poignant moment before the start of the game as well. His father, an assistant coach at Chaminade, a ball just rolls wide, stays with Chaminade. Mentioned still that fight continues overseas, and a couple more casualties, guys who gave the ultimate sacrifice like Jimmy did. So it's always important to remember, and you can see on your screen ways to learn more about the Lead the Way Foundation.
Here comes Manhasset pushing up the other way, and Kevin Mack had his shot deflected out of bounds. Manhasset will hold on to it.
Kevin Mack, in many ways, Matt, has kind of taken on that leadership, that main attackman role that really, I think when you looked at the start of the year, Cromwell thought he probably would have been the 2 to Keogh. But when Keogh goes down, Mack has taken that over, and then Schneider has slid in as that number 2 option, it seems like, offensively.
Mack sliding down from the midfield this year. Here's a shot bouncing off the post. Chris Glynn on the shot, and Chaminade's got it clean on a ground ball, moving left to right. 5 minutes gone in the opening quarter, tied at 1. Goals from Kuhn and Schneider. Look right inside, quick stick and a save by Manhasset's Haggerty. Boy, beautiful body positioning for Haggerty and Manhasset.
A great feed inside from Nicholas to Kavanaugh, but Kavanaugh accepted the pass high but stayed high. That's one where you kind of think maybe he can fake high, go low, and score that goal.
Over the midfield, Nolan Parisi loses the ball. Chaminade's got it going the other way. Picked up by Aiden Burns, one of the 3 starting attackmen for the Flyers. First year on the varsity, a junior, committed to the West Point Military Academy. Up top on a bound, it's picked up by Kummel. Kummel looking for Kavanaugh on the crease again, unable to handle it. To the turf it goes. Kavanaugh comes out of the pack with the ball. Turnaround shot, and Haggerty is there again.
Another one that Haggerty was able to see, and the only goal that he's conceded yet has been on the bounce.
So midway through the first quarter of play, been some good up and down action so far. We're knotted up at 1. Here's Postiglione, second year on the Manhasset varsity.
And you see Tangretti keep an eye out on Schneider, who now drifts back out towards the midfield. Now he gets the ball, but not a clean acceptance of it.
Ooh, Schneider almost went over and back.
I think he'd take some dancing lessons there.
Schneider looking right on the crease, tucked in. Back up top it comes for Postiglione. Postiglione will put one on, stopped by Bonafide.
And might have even hit his own guy in front.
So Chaminade quickly out, Camille with it. Here comes Camille, fast break opportunity for Chaminade. Camille goes sidearm, and Haggerty's there to make the stop. Outlet pass all the way up to the 50-yard line. Here come the Indians, clad in orange. Across the way, right in front. Shot and a goal for Logan Hyde. And a flag comes down after. Manhasset on top 2-1.
It was on a hit out towards midfield. We'll see if the flag stays. Nice ball movement and a quick decision there for Manhasset. The referees confer. Certainly the goal counts. It is 2-1 Manhasset. The only question is whether the infraction is waved off.
Well, tremendous effort by Haggerty. That all starts from the save, but not only the save, the recognition by Haggerty that he had an attackman over the midfield line, and that gave Manhasset the opportunity to break out in numbers. That's something that Keith Cromwell talked about this season instituting as he came over from Locust Valley. And we'll go down to the sideline for a moment. Unreleasable penalty on Chaminade. Wow, so we have offsetting unreleasable penalties.
Yeah, I saw the first one as there still is conversations among the coaches. I saw the first one on a big hit out as Manhasset started that run-up field.
Yeah, the only thing I could think is there was a retaliation. I missed it live. And Cromwell and assistant coach Blake Miller are both getting sort of an explanation from the official. And it looks like the Chaminade penalty went against Kellen Paradine. Trying to see who's in the box for Manhasset.
I saw Schneider there for a moment.
Chris Glynn is kind of hanging out there. As is Gillen Caliendo. So both are unreleasable. We're going to be 5-on-5 for a minute here. So after all that, Manhasset, the 2-1 advantage right now.
A lot of extra room out there right now.
Nobody on the far wing for either team.
Nice job by Giovanetti.
Oh, Chaminade's got it as we're 5-on-5. Right now it's Jake Sexton.
A very balanced attack, Matt, offensively for Chaminade. You don't see those gaudy numbers that you see from some around the island, but certainly they're getting their goals and they're getting them by multiple people.
Yeah, they average about 11 goals per game, but 9 players for Chaminade have double figures in terms of points this year. Their team leader in points, Regan Quinn, with 26 on the season, which is a pretty low number by standards, and Haggerty kicking out with the left foot, making the stop. We have a whistle from the official on the near side. I think Haggerty came out of the crease and then stepped back in, and that is what the procedure is. So it's going to be Chaminade ball.
Well, it's staying Manhasset, actually.
I thought I heard the official say blue procedure, red ball.
Well, it was a shot by Quinn and an impressive save by Haggerty. Again, you do like the fact that he goes low on that and kick save by Haggerty.
Okay, so it's Manhasset ball, 4:13 to go in the first quarter. In the last game you and I did, there was something to that nature between Ward Melville and Smithtown East.
Yeah, except it led to a goal.
Manhasset, as we have 6 attackers out there for the Indians. Bodies flying on a loose ball. And the orange and blue come up with it. Chris Glynn on the ground ball, the sophomore, already committed to Georgetown. Shooting space! And a goal for Kevin Mack. Rifled one home.
So 3 consecutive goals for the visiting Indians. That's Mack's first. Credit the assist to Steve Schneider. 3-1 Indians.
Mack coming off a 5-point performance against Southside. 3 goals and 2 assists. Season high 6 goals this year against St. Anthony's.
Kevin Mack, the Michigan-bound attack.
Well, he's inching up. He had 55 points last year. 44 goals, 11 assists. A little bit more balance this year, though. 28 and 20 for 48. Another face-off won by Manhasset. Manhasset remaining man up. Nope, back to even strength as the penalty ends. So a man-up goal for Mack a moment ago. And Chaminade with 3 minutes left in the first quarter, trailing at home to Manhasset 3-1. Coming around goal line extended. Mack makes it back-to-back. And Manhasset on top 4-1.
Yeah, great job by Mack. Gets a step on his defender and then throws a bit of a sidearm shot low inside the far post. 4-1 Manhasset, and this is a deficit that really we haven't seen Chaminade face. It's still early, of course. It's only 3 goals, but they don't give up a lot of goals at all.
Chaminade in their last game, they beat Massapequa with 7-5. So the pace right now definitely favoring Manhasset. They're a team that likes to get up and down. Chaminade likes to play a little bit more contained, force you into mistakes, which Manhasset hasn't made many of today. There's procedure against the Indians. And Chaminade's got it with 2.5 left in the first quarter. Manhasset leading 4-1. Mack with 2 goals, along with Hyde and Schneider. Kuhn, the lone goal today for Chaminade.
Now we'll see. I think Chaminade just work the ball around, just give their offense an opportunity to get some touches.
Second line midfield on for the Flyers. Chris Nicholas, the junior, committed to North Carolina. Here's Aiden Burns, another junior. Tucked in by Cutton. Shot goes out of bounds. Backing up was Regan Quinn. Here's Aiden Burns. Jack Moran says moves around like a little dart at X. Both he and Kavanaugh pretty comfortable creating offense from behind the goal. Kuznarek. Manhasset closing things in defensively, not allowing a lot for Chaminade at the moment.
It's funny, we came in talking about the Chaminade D, but the Indians, the slides are there, they're physical.
And Haggerty's been the last line of defense when he's needed to. Pass getting away, scooped up by Sorella. The captain bound for Michigan. For Manhasset, here comes the pull of Sorella, and he'll feed it off behind an X. About a minute to go, Mack back with it in his stick. He scored the last 2 goals for Manhasset, looking for more. Looking right in front, quick stick up high for Silos. Ground ball picked up by Manhasset, though, and kept alive. Silos has it at X. Mack calling for it. Up top to a cutting Postiglione, but it gets through. Was it deflected? Guess so. Chaminade's got it either way. 45 seconds left to go. Here comes Burns. The late stages of the first quarter.
What an awesome job there, Matt, by Chris Glynn.
Gave no room for Postiglione to cut towards Cage.
Yeah, that looked like it was an unsettled situation for a moment, and then little poke and make sure that Chaminade doesn't get anything cheap.
Kuznarek with it. One of those 9 Chaminade players in double-figure scoring this year. He's got 11 points. Now Regan Quinn, one of the seniors for Chaminade, ready to attack. Kavanaugh stepping in, sends it wide of the net.
See, Manhasset's taking everything inside away.
Well, Kavanaugh kind of popped in early, but they've not found anything on the crease since then. Cutton puts it on, and Haggerty able to send it away as the first quarter comes to a close. Manhasset storming out of the gates. They lead 4-1 with 12 minutes in the books. Stay with us, second quarter coming up from Manhasset High School.
It's the reason we keep watching, because of underdogs, crazy comebacks, and the last-minute heroics. Because we love it all, the face-offs, the hits, the big-time goals. Because winning never, ever gets old. So, we keep watching anywhere we can. Never miss a moment. Download the News 12 Varsity app today.
Kevin Mack with 2 first quarter goals as Manhasset leading Chaminade 4-1. Matt Shortis, Dylan Butler with you as we get ready for the start of the beginning of the second quarter from Chaminade High School. It's Chaminade in white, Manhasset in the road orange, and Manhasset won a bulk of those first quarter face-offs. Thought there could have been a trip there, and that is not the case. Chaminade will have it to start the second quarter.
I see a lot of the stats at the bottom of your screen, fairly similar. Shots 8-7, Chaminade. Face-offs were even. Shots on goal 5-4 for Manhasset, but of course the Indians making the most of their opportunities. You see the 3 big saves by Haggerty there, and that's the difference right now in a three-goal game.
And a few of those saves for Haggerty in tight. Here's Aiden Burns, delayed penalty coming up on Manhasset. Audible groan from the Manhasset side, inside, and the goal will be waved off as Burn was in the crease. But Chaminade will go man up for the first time today.
Yeah, I don't blame the Manhasset crowd. I think Parisi did a great job defensively. Instead, they're going to say he had a slash. So it's going to be a 1-minute man-up opportunity.
And it is a packed crowd today. You don't always see these bleachers all the way filled. I mean, they go from the 20 to the 20, so they're pretty good size, and they are almost all the way packed out. There's a section off to our right in the west end zone that is still a little vacated, but pretty much everything else, you see bodies in the seats.
Yeah, it was a cool little atmosphere, too, when we came here behind the little turf field behind the press box here. A lot of activity going on.
A lot of wall ball on the stands. Yeah. Chaminade, first man-up chance.
30 seconds left in it.
Of the game for the Flyers. Looking for one more. They've not scored since the 9:39 mark of the quarter. First quarter, that is. And that shot is pulled wide.
Yeah, Kuznerek with the shot. Not an easy one, too, because he had to pick up basically like a ground ball on the pass across.
Burns playing catch with Kavanaugh. Shot going high for Regan Quinn. Good idea, just skied the crossbar a little bit.
9 seconds left in the man-up opportunity.
Up top again for the Flyers.
We're even.
Kuznerek. Right in front, Kavanaugh changes hands up top and scores. The dexterity and the quickness by the Sparky Jr. First goal for Chaminade in the quarter.
And you have to go all the way back till 9:39. That stops Manhasset's run of 4 straight goals. And we talked about the Indians taking away everything inside. Well, that was one chance there where Cutton goes inside the Kavanaugh, and you are 100% right. His ability to switch hands in with no time and then fire home the goal. An impressive goal by Kavanaugh. Great look inside by Cutton. And the Flyers cut their deficit in half.
So they don't get it on the man up, but shortly thereafter, they do get a goal, and it's now a 4-2 Manhasset advantage. Face-off won by the Indians, and a quick timeout called by Keith Cromwell.
Yeah, good one there because Polano had the ball, the freshman, and Tangretti's pole was all over him. So important timeout for Cromwell to call.
Keith Cromwell, we mentioned his first year as Manhasset head coach, and he's done well so far with the Indians. A Hicksville grad. 1997, he won a county championship as a senior. But he loves going right into the fire in terms of rivals. Last year, Locust Valley, he really pushed Cold Spring Harbor. This year, Manhasset getting the win over Garden City. He's not taking any cupcake jobs to start.
No, he is a big game coach, and he has proven that already. Like you mentioned, the Locust Valley win, that was Cold Spring Harbor's last loss. We saw a team in Darien who's got 42 consecutive wins in the state of Connecticut, but in the state of New York, Cold Spring Harbor has the longest winning streak right now, and that goes back to Crimewell being the last guy to beat Bonn and the Seahawks. And then he comes here, and what's one of his first big games he wins? The Woodstick Classic over Fennell and Garden City. So he is up for the challenge, and he has done a good job in his first year here at Manhasset because, you know, you think about it too, you mentioned it, he's Rutgers' all-time leading scorer, so he has that mentality of attack and get his guys out running, and certainly guys like Mack and Schneider and Glynn, they've all really taken to the change in tactics for the Indians.
The 2001 Rookie of the Year in Major League Lacrosse with the New York Lizards, or Long Island Lizards at the time, so you know he's accustomed to that tempo, and a Lizards teammate of his also on his staff, and Blake Miller, who's a Manhasset alumnus himself. And he was an assistant for Coach Terry for a long time as well. Looking right on the crease, deflected. They say who touched it last? It was Chaminade, so it'll be Manhasset ball.
Yeah, pass from Schneider to Hyde, but it goes off the top of his stick.
Mack trying to roll dodge, comes goal line extended up top. Now it's Schneider. Those two have connected today, and they've looked comfortable and confident on the offensive end. 2 and change into the second quarter, 4-2. Manhasset leading Chaminade. Well, to start the game, we had a beautiful sun-drenched field. Sun has gone behind the clouds a little bit, trying to poke free. Give and go up top for Manhasset. Ball knocked away, deflected, but into the stick of Hyde. Hyde chased back out to the top of the box. And Manhasset is going to reset their offense.
Yeah, starting to see a little bit more of that Chaminade aggressive defense that has really helped them win some big games this year.
Solo dodge from the top by Schneider, gets his defender to fall down. All the way up top, extra man, extra pass for Manhasset, rings off the post. Ground ball to Chaminade for a moment, but it's knocked free.
Mulholland with that shot.
And a battle for the loose ball, kicked back towards midfield. And the orange and blue of Manhasset have it. Big ground ball for Chris Glynn. We've said his name a few times today.
I'll tell you, you mentioned that defender going down. That was on a check. That's how strong Schneider is. He just had that dude bounce off him.
Schneider, the senior, cutting in a whistle, and Max stepped in the crease off ball.
On a tough clear. Tangrady's got to get to it.
Well, Tangrady, you got to watch out for him. He's got 10 points on the season as a long pole midfielder. And Chaminade's going to call a timeout.
And Tangrady took one off the lower back, too. He's a tough guy, though.
I was asking Jack Moran before the game if he's ever had a pole with the offensive touch of Frankie Tangrady, and he said the only guy I can really think of is Timmy Burke, who's up at Dartmouth. But Tangrady is definitely in a class amongst himself. 10 points on the season. We saw him have a goal out of Ward Melville, and he's a long pole you always got to keep an eye on.
Yeah, very impressive. Very, you love what he does on the defensive end, and you mentioned Dartmouth. I watched a little bit of Ivy League lacrosse yesterday, semifinals. Good games. Yale, what was it, 4 overtimes?
The conference tournaments this season have been fantastic.
Yeah.
You had North Carolina avenging the loss to Syracuse earlier in the year.
Yep.
You had the calamity that was in the Big East with Marquette upending Denver, Providence winning the Big East. You had the way that Hofstra lost to UMass on a goal at the buzzer from midfield. The conference tournaments in college lacrosse have been fantastic this year.
And what I love personally is pretty much in each of those situations you mentioned, there's a local guy who's having
Absolutely.
something to do with those tournaments. You know, you talked about Hofstra and Ryan Tierney, the Rookie of the Year this year. What a great job he did. Saw a little bit of that ACC final with North Carolina and Notre Dame, and Brian Willits scoring a goal for Notre Dame. Of course,
Luke
he was at
Hatzapetrakis from
East.
Syosset
Yeah.
up at Providence.
Yep. Of course, Dylan Malloy still at Brown.
7.5 minutes to go in the first half. Chaminade on a bounce shot by Delira going high. Manhasset leading 4-2 in the battle for Regs Rock.
Yeah, this game 2 of 3 tri-state battles for you here on Long Island. Garden City Shoreham Wading River for the Lax Out Cancer. That's the 9th year for that event. That was earlier, and at about half an hour's time, New Canaan, part of what I dubbed the FCAC attack at St. Anthony's. Dave Resnick on the call for that one.
All of them available on news12varsity.com, and the app quick stick goes through. Kavanaugh's got it. Kavanaugh drawing the pole of Omar Sana. Back check. Now it's Kavanaugh again. Kavanaugh looking all the way up top. Dodge from the right side. Good defense by Manhasset. Not allowing much for Camille. Delira, he'll try the jump shot and sneaks it into the far right corner. Number 19 in the battle for Regan's Rock. Getting Chaminade back within 1.
A real good goal by Delira. Cutting the deficit to 1 goal, and as good as Manhasset was defensively there, Chaminade made sure they controlled the ball, and Regan Quinn did a great job earlier, avoiding a stick check, maintaining possession, and Delira finishes to pull his team within 1. It's not an assist, but good look across by Camille.
Senior Giovanetti getting into a little rhythm now. Quick stick opportunity. Shot fake. Put home. We're tied at 4. Jake Sexton has knotted it up.
And that's the extra passing you like to see. And the look came from Regan Quinn off that straight. When you get a clean face-off, you get an opportunity to get a little bit unsettled. You have the other team on their heels. That's what happened there. Quinn with the look and then the finish inside. We are all even at 4.
For Jake Sexton, his 14th goal of the season. Was getting about 5 minutes a quarter early on. That's ballooned a little bit.
And a procedure, so Manhasset will get the ball right back.
Much needed possession for the Indians, who find themselves reeling a little bit. 3 unanswered goals for Chaminade.
See the face-offs even at 5.
An area which Manhasset controlled in that first quarter. Chris Glynn straight away has the short stick.
Double comes over from Tangretti.
Feedback up top, a little too hot to handle for Postiglione, but he grabs it. There's Mack coming from X. Mack with 2 goals in that first quarter.
Oh.
Adds another on a laser beam top shelf.
Wow. What a goal by Kevin Mack. The defense, such a great job. The slide was there, and I was about to give them kudos because they took away that swim that we saw Mack do so well, where he gets around the cage, and then he goes the opposite way and scores the goal. What a fantastic goal
left-handed sidearm.
Oh,
Almost used his body to create a little extra space on that turnaround. So just like that, Manhasset back on top by 1. Kevin Mack, the hat trick in the first half for the Indians. We have a hold against Manhasset. Chaminade will have it. Delira feeding it to Byrne.
now Quinn with it in his stick.
And all three of those guys over 20 points on the year. You got to respect the 3 starting attackmen. And Jake Sexton, who's also getting some time, and Byrne at that attack unit.
It's a cool matchup, too. Eddie Arnold on him.
Here's Quinn trying to move inside, behind the back block before it got there. Picked up by Manhasset. Quinn not making it easy. Flag coming down.
Yeah, Parisi got the ground ball, and as soon as the ball hits the carpet, the flag will be, or the penalty will be called.
We're going to have a 1-minute penalty on a slash. So Manhasset 1 for 1 on the man-up chance today.
See Quinn in the box.
So Manhasset, who scored the game's last goal, a 1-goal advantage, 4:20 to go in the first half on a Saturday afternoon at Chaminade. John Silos now to Matt coming goal line extended. Not much room for him there, as Marnello came out very quickly. A hard shot whizzing by Bonafide.
Yeah, that shot by Hyde, it had eyes.
Look right on the crease, got all the way through.
Damn, because he forces it in, there was no backup, so Chaminade ball, which should pretty much get them back. You see there's 8 seconds now left on the man up. A little bit of pressure on the ride, and actually results in a turnover. Bonafide's pass goes out of bounds, so we're even, but Manhasset maintains possession.
I sailed on him as he was looking for Paradine. Jump shot, a kick save by Bonafide.
Hey, makes up for it there. Great job getting low, and Schneider again showing that strength, just absorbs the contact and goes to goal.
The last 2 years, I think we've seen more goalies using the whole body. You know, and the feet of a goalie, they've got to be beat up.
I used to say that it's crazy. You've got to be crazy to be a hockey goalie, but look at how much additional padding those dudes have.
It's not like the NLL where those guys look like the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man.
No.
They get a lot of padding, not in the outdoor game. Here's Schneider up top to the left point. Bounce shot. Bonafide doesn't know where it is. It's right to the crease. And Bonafide is able to clamp down on it.
Oh, and
Well, there should be a whistle there.
Yeah, Mack is in the crease.
There was goalie interference. I mean, Mack was lying down in the crease while Bonafide had that in his stick.
He's enjoying this nice day. So I feel like
the Chaminade coaching staff trying to say that should be a free clear on the goalie interference. And it should. Lobbed ahead to Paradine. Man down for Manhasset, numbers for Chaminade. Pass is dropped, though, by Kusnerik.
Yard sale.
Yeah. Rugby scrum on the far side of the field. Loose ball push. Ball to Manhasset. Nope. Well, they'll change their mind.
Well, we have seen this before.
So Manhasset's got it. Down a goal. 2:12 to go in the first half, pardon me. Here's Kavanaugh. Pat Kavanaugh looking right on the crease. Good defense by Arnold of Manhasset.
Yeah, he's really good. He did a great job last weekend against Garden City and also got up in the attack, scored a really nice goal, one of our plays of the week.
Here's Kusnarek again. Haggerty stops it. Loose ball. Kusnarek's got it.
Oh.
The left side, it perfectly timed check makes that ball sail out of bounds. Manhasset's got it. 1:27 to go in the first half.
Yeah, Pete Conlon with that stick check.
Haggerty moving it ahead to Eddie Arnold. UPenn committed sophomore. Wind whipping around at Gold Star Alumni Stadium.
Yeah, you can see it on the flags there behind, or to the corner of the goal.
It's the southwest corner of the field here at Chaminade High School. Under a minute to play in this first half. Manhasset with a 1-goal advantage, trying to hold on to it or perhaps extend it before the half comes to a close.
There's that matchup again, Tangredi versus Schneider.
Schneider getting a step on him, going right to goal and sneaking it under the crossbar.
Filthy goal by Schneider. He draws Tangredi all the way out and then just uses those feet of his to get past the long pole and goes upstairs.
And that's all speed from the North Carolina-bound senior.
Second goal of the day. And you love the response if you are Manhasset, right? Because it's 3 straight goals to start the second quarter by Chaminade to tie the score at 4, and the last 2 have been by Manhasset. So barring anything wild here in the final 35 seconds, they should go into the half with a lead.
Keith Cromwell says Steve Schneider's got the green light anytime he wants it.
Yeah.
I've never seen that on a face-off. As Giovanetti went head over heels, and they say hold on Manhasset. Chaminade will take a timeout. 22 seconds left in the first half.
I think it's a good call. I hear the Manhasset guys all upset, but that was a good call. He hooked the stick.
Well, the Chaminade coaching staff was barking about something as well on the sideline.
I think they probably wanted maybe a flag on that. See another look on our replay, and you can see Giovanetti trying to work it out, and he just hooked the stick the entire time. Their sticks essentially became intertwined.
It was like Mark Silos kind of was trying to lever it. So as we talk about, this game is for the Ranger Lead the Way Foundation. And what they do, Mr. Regan says, they're an active duty casualty assistance, recovery, and transition organization. So oftentimes they are impacting the lives of those who have served and come back to civilian life. They've built houses for returning Army Rangers in the past who have had physical limitations as a result of their service. They've built houses for that. They're currently building, well, they're building one and they're going to build another one soon. They just built one in Fayetteville, North Carolina, and they're waiting to see for the next person where they're going to be living. They said either Tampa or New Hampshire. They also help with some tuition assistance for returning veterans on top of the money, the GI Bill money.
Yeah, and you can see there, if you want to make a donation, and we certainly urge you to do that, go to www.leadthewayfund.org. You can see that at the bottom of your screen.
It's been 10 years since the passing of Sergeant James Regan, a Chaminade alumnus and Duke alumnus.
Remember early on, you had Army against Duke before Chaminade played Manhasset out at Manhasset High School.
Left side tucked in for Manhasset, shooting it high, was Matt Camille. Just 3 seconds show on the scoreboard. Sent in front quickly, trying to behind the back. It was Regan Quinn, but there was nothing there. So Chaminade had the strong start to the second quarter, but Manhasset finished it equally as powerful. Schneider, the horse, at the end of that first half. 6-4, Manhasset leads at halftime.
You watch because it's your home, your school, your team. Because it's your brother, sister, daughter, and son. Because you love the "can you believe it, did you see that?" and the "oh my goodness, what a win" moments. So yeah, you watch. Never miss a moment. Download the News 12 Varsity app today.
Third quarter about to begin at Chaminade High School. Matt Shortis, Dylan Butler, Tom Schnarrs with you as Manhasset leads 6-4 over Chaminade. Number 7 team in our tri-state poll, Manhasset. Chaminade, the number 2 team, behind only the Blue Wave of Darien.
Yeah, no one is going to surpass them after what we saw on Thursday against St. Anthony's. What a machine Jeff Braymire's guys are.
Especially defensively.
Oh, my goodness. Arden Cohen, ridiculous. Here's some stats for the first half. Chaminade, 7-5 edge in face-offs, ground balls, 11-5. Manhasset, big edge for the Indians there. 17-12 edge in Chaminade shots. On goal, 9-8 for Manhasset.
Regan Quinn going down. A delayed penalty coming up against Manhasset as Delira drew what looked to be a slash. We'll wait for the official word.
You saw the saves, one more for Hegarty. We're all even on turnovers. It's a 32nd penalty.
On all sides. Manhasset students have come out today. There's a whole section of them off to our right.
Yeah, they are, to the right.
All standing up.
You knew Tom Schnarrs would find them.
The eagle eye of Tom Schnarrs. So man-up opportunity for Chaminade, who's 0 for 1 on the man-up today. They scored right after the penalty was released. Kusnarik, pass fake over to left side. Gets it back up top. He lets it fly, and Haggerty saw it the whole way.
And he just brings the ball out and finds Kevin Mack. Great clear.
Kavanaugh wound up, ended up losing his own stick on that check.
Penalty is up.
Back to 6-on-6. Well, Manhasset only has 1 game left in the regular season. It's against New Hyde Park, and then the playoffs begin.
How crazy is that?
End of the lacrosse season always kind of sneaks up on you, especially because we've not had consistently warm weather.
Yeah, that's true.
Hostiglione with it straight away.
And yet, in that short season that is lacrosse, you always start off with like 5 layers and a winter hat and sweating with shorts and T-shirts by the time you get up to June.
Prefer it that way.
Yeah.
Mack in a 2-man game behind the goal with Glenn.
Yeah, but then we'll do the Long Island Championships, and Russ Relkin is going to make us wear jacket and tie, I guess.
That's okay.
Amanda Buglisi on the sideline. She said she'll wear one too.
I'm sure Amanda would prefer that than the 12 layers she had at MetLife Stadium for the New Jersey championships this year. Here's Kevin Mack at X, already 3 goals today. Tries to shovel one past Bonafide, and Chaminade will win the possession. The hustle from Tangretti.
Yeah, really good job by Tangretti. He's had some tough matchups in that first quarter, but that's all hustle. There's the clear, and now Chaminade will go into their offense.
3 minutes have ticked off the clock in the third quarter. And Manhasset is leading 6-4. Nobody's scored yet in the third.
Yeah, in our first game, what a game we had out at Shoreham-Wading River. Garden City Shoreham-Wading River rematch of last year's Long Island Class B championship. A come-from-behind 12-11 win for the Trojans. So little sliver of revenge, although it's so hard to say that for a regular season game. And of course, they won't play Shoreham in the Long Island Championship this year. Shoreham down in C this year.
Boy, Haggerty is seeing the ball so well. Ducks under the leaping Kavanaugh. Draws some oohs and ahs from the fans.
Gets it out to Sorella.
Sorella, Michigan-bound senior captain. 4-year starter for Manhasset's defense. They'll shuttle on their correct personnel. Chris Meyer, one of their second-line midfielders, is on. 5 points for him this season. Jake Tamaris as well. They're both on with Postiglione. First time they've gotten much burn at all.
That's a great
and a
call.
Moving pick.
Yep. Chris Meyer was the culprit.
Here is Tangretti, the point man, on the fast break. And Tangretti gives it off. He stays down for a moment. We'll see if he shuttles off or elects to work in the offense a little bit.
If anything, maybe he just uses his body out there to cause a screen.
He's on the crease right now. Chaminade will pull it all the way back out. Camille shooting on the run, beats Haggerty off stick side. Right away, Haggerty, a little tap to the chest to say that one's on me.
Yeah, I think goalies usually think that when it's a goal high side, that's what that was. You see him staring down at the goal, looking at his posts, just trying to refocus himself for the next faceoff. Good job, though, by Camille, just getting, again, winning an individual battle, running to cage and scoring the goal, pulling the Flyers within one.
Matt Camille, talk about a lax family. His brother Matt played for Brown, his sister Courtney at Fairfield. 3 cousins played for Hopkins. And he's going to play collegiately at Duke. Neither guy knows where the ball is. Giovanetti lost the stick. And it should be Manhasset ball. Giovanetti was playing without his stick and actually gave a little push, and somehow it's going to be Chaminade possession.
And there's Regan Quinn now looking to get the offense going. So good at X. He and Kavanaugh, kind of a two-headed monster usually at X.
So after the first quarter, which pace-wise was up and down, that favored Manhasset. The game's been a little slower, 6-on-6.
How about Schneider with the work defensively?
And here they come, trying to push the tempo. Here comes Schneider, give off to the left side for Mack. Mack shuttles over to his right, off to the pole to the right side. Goal line extended, it comes, trying to dance inside, and shooting and beating Bonafide for Manhasset was John Silos. I don't know how he got that in on that angle.
And that's just all strength, I think, there by Johnny Silos, and you're right. The angle not there. He's got a defender draped all over him, but finds a way to put it home, and Manhasset back to their 2-goal lead.
39th goal of the season for John Silos to lead Manhasset. Edward Arnold was the one who fed it down there, but this was an individual effort and a half from Silos.
And really, I think if you're that long pole and it looked to be Frankie Marinello for Chaminade, he did everything right. Just a little extra effort by Johnny Silos to get the goal.
Keith Cromwell has got his hands up in the air after that faceoff was awarded to Chaminade on a procedure, and he's saying, what do we have to do to get a call our way? Matt Camille, who had the goal a moment ago for Chaminade. Good defense by Amersana. Back up top for Delira. Delira shooting on the run. Haggerty going down low across his body to make the stop. Out of bounds it goes, and it's Manhasset ball.
Yeah, that one goes off the shaft of the stick of Haggerty. Great job there, and you saw him in a fantastic clear too on the button. But you saw a moment ago, Matt, where he looked back at his, I'll get to that in a second.
There's a shot, drifts through the crease, picked up by Chaminade. Dom Doria's got it. Doria trying to look ahead. Finds the long pole in Paradine. Paradine and Chaminade coming up quickly. Here's Regan Quinn. Kavanaugh with it now in his stick. Kavanaugh turns, feeds across. Roll dodge, lefty bouncer, Haggerty. Split save. Haggerty's lead pass ahead, the pace up and down now. Chris Glynn's got it for Manhasset, the senior, committed to Georgetown.
The point I was going to make was you like that after that goal, you mentioned where he tapped his chest, that it was his goal. He turned around and it looked like he did a little mental exercise that, if you excuse the cross-sport reference, 4 saves already in this quarter for Haggerty. Kind of like a Holtby for the Capitals goalie, where he gives up a goal, he just kind of gets himself back into his mental space and just puts that goal out of his head and refocuses on the game.
Yeah, I think any athletic position where the emphasis is really on your effort, it's easy to see your mistakes. The goalies, closer in baseball, so important to be able to get back into that present moment and allow yourself to kind of just forget about your mistakes. Here is Glynn off the dodge, evades the back check. Glynn fighting inside, gets the shot off but wide. Mack is there to back up for Manhasset. Here comes Mack shuffling his feet, comes around goal line extended, low to Hyde, just clears the crossbar, and Logan Hyde able to slide over on the motion offense to back up again for the Indians.
And what's interesting about Haggerty is that he's winning that battle of the goalies, where Bonafide, you would think coming into this game, would have the edge because he's had such a fantastic junior year for the Flyers. Really doesn't give in anything cheap.
Feeding across, pass high, and that's going to skitter out of bounds.
That's an unforced error there by Manhasset.
Manhasset a 2-goal lead at 7-5. Manhasset attacker fell down on the ride, trying to stick with Paradine. That got a rise from the Chaminade side.
Yeah, it's that kind of mixed one, the and one mixtape tour kind of mentality. Or the culture where everything is breaking in an opponent's ankles.
Chaminade scored first in this game by Kuhn, and that one an easy stop for Haggerty. Barely had to move. Yes. Manhasset scored the next 4 after that. They took a 4-1 lead after one. Chaminade battled back, but since then, Manhasset has not surrendered the lead.
5 saves now this quarter for Haggerty.
Just shy of 90 seconds left in the third quarter. 7-5. Manhasset on top.
9 for the game.
For Haggerty.
Yeah.
Senior captain heading to Villanova.
Bonafide just 3.
Minute gone, or minute left rather. 30 seconds gone on this possession. Manhasset, no sense of urgency at the moment.
Hey, you got a 2-goal lead.
There's a junior Logan Hyde who's stepped in with Keogh being out most of this season. Up top, unable to be handled by Silos.
Look out.
Carved out near midfield, kept alive for the moment. And it's picked up by Silos. After he couldn't handle it, opportunity for Manhasset off the crossbar, out of bounds to the far side. Manhasset will hold on with 23 seconds left in the quarter.
What an opportunity there for the Indians, unable to capitalize. Great hustle, though, to maintain this possession, which with 22 seconds left, you got to figure they hold for the last.
That is a 3rd or 4th pipe today that Manhasset has hit. Schneider gets D'd up. Schneider lobbing it up top. Kept alive by Glynn. 7 seconds left. Glynn shot saved by Bonafide. Loose as Bonafide clamps down, heaves it downfield, and time will expire. Low scoring quarter for both sides. And Manhasset clinging to a 2-goal lead as we head to the 4th. 7-5 Indians on top. We'll be back for the 4th quarter coming up on News 12 Varsity.
It's the reason we keep watching. Because of underdogs, crazy comebacks, and the last-minute heroics. Because we love it all. The face-offs, the hits, the big-time goals. Because winning never, ever gets old. So, we keep watching anywhere we can. Never miss a moment. Download the News 12 Varsity app today.
Start of the 4th quarter, Manhasset leading 7-5. To the face-off X we go. It's been a fun matchup today between the freshman Mark Silos and the senior Alessio Giovanetti. It's been a physical showdown between those two, and the senior winning the battle that time. Well, Chaminade has led this game only once, 1-0.
Yeah, they battled.
Has pretty much led since then.
Sorry, Matt. Yeah, they battled back. They trailed 4-1. They came back to tie it, but you're right. Nothing there, and then their interior pass picked off by Sorella.
Almersana, good ball movement as they move it upfield. Here comes Caliendo, the defensive midfielder. Good check. Chaminade, the early beat on this. Marinello knocked it free. Delira's got it. Delira tangled up with Caliendo, and play continues.
Really good job by those two, Marinello and Delira, to get that ball loose and back into the attack for Chaminade.
And Doria, the one to officially bring it up for Chaminade. They are without one of their close defensive midfielders, Luke Packer. A Manhattan commit. He's out with an injury today. So they're playing a little shorthanded on the defensive side.
Yeah, Packer was really good, along with Doria and Tangretti in that early season win over St. Anthony's, which somehow gives them at least a share of the Catholic championship.
We'll have the regular season finale for Chaminade coming up later in the month. Burns didn't know where it was, loses it out of his stick, and we'll have a whistle And I think Chaminade's going to hold on to this one.
Peter Conlon, it looked to be a good check. Unless they're saying it was a push.
And May 18th, 4:45 p.m. at St. Anthony's. You can bill it as the Catholic League Championship game. Either it'll be a share or Chaminade will be the outright champion. No postseason meeting between those two in 2017.
Yeah, it allows both to schedule the national opponents that both love to do. We saw St. Anthony's go down the boys Latin. We saw St. Ignatius from California come here to play Chaminade.
Also went down to Maryland. Manhasset, good check. Nolan Parisi, the first-year starter, jarring it loose. Here comes the orange and blue. First possession of the fourth, 2.5 minutes in. There's Schneider. We've seen his presence and speed in this game with a pair today.
Now Mulholland just playing catch, working the ball around.
Mulholland, an 8th grader on the varsity.
He also had a big game in that Garden City game. That's when you know an 8th grader, a 9th grader like Mark Seil, that's when you know that they're ready for varsity lacrosse. When you play well on the wood stick as an underclassman, or even in this case, a kid who's not even in high school, that bodes well for your lacrosse future.
Whatever your chief rivalry is. Here's Mack trying to back his way down. Faces cage, long pull on him, Mack. Will survey and just send it back up towards the top of the box.
Yeah, so the feet always moving.
Here's a dodge from Schneider. Now Chris Glynn with it. Another young guy, a sophomore from Manhasset. The stall warning is up against the Indians. Holding on to a 2-goal lead, 4 minutes gone in the fourth quarter.
That was a little bit early.
Yeah, I mean, they haven't made a move to cage really on this possession. Mack. Back up top, feet across the left side. Double team coming over. Ball popped loose. Chaminade's got it. Picked up by Doria. And then he lost it. And a hard hit coming, jarred loose by Schneider.
Oh, he is just a beast, a tank.
And it was a change of possession, so that'll reset the warning.
Yeah. And now Schneider will come off. What
that hit essentially buys Manhasset another minute of possession. Here's Pastiglione. Low pass handled by Glynn. Here's Mack. Near side it comes for Perfetto. Have not seen him too much today. The sophomore started the year on JV, came up mid-season. 8 goals on the year. Mack's got it again. And Mack fakes high, shoots low. Bonafide's there.
Really good save by Bonafide. A very good clear as well.
Here come the Flyers, odd man situation. Burns looks right on the doorstep. Shot fake, goal. Chaminade. Aiden Burns from Regan Quinn. And Chaminade is within 1.
Funny, Matt, we're seeing the two teams play like the other these last few minutes, where Manhasset, of course, with the 2-goal lead, trying to be a little more patient offensively, and then when Chaminade gets the opportunity, as they did there, they push the pace, and you saw the tic-tac-toe passing. It goes from Quinn, and it's finished inside by Burns.
17th goal of the season for Aiden Burns. Face off to Chaminade.
How about that job by Giovanetti?
And here's Tangretti. Bouncing it to
Ooh.
Giovanetti, and Giovanetti had it jarred loose. Scooped up by Regan Quinn of Chaminade. A timeout. No,
Failure.
they didn't get into the box quick enough. I heard the whistle. I just assumed Jack Moran would have called the timeout
Yeah,
there.
you saw the tap of the head by the official.
Here's Haggerty trying to move the ball up for Manhasset. There's a mini back. Numbers for Manhasset. Here they go. Pulled it to the right side by Silos. Beautiful look. Couldn't put it home.
Yeah, that look from the pass from Schneider.
5.5 minutes to go in this one. Manhasset on top by a goal. It's 7-6. Manhasset going into the stall. I feel like a little early. Still a good amount of time left in this game.
Absolutely.
Especially the way their offense is kind of built. Near the midfield, do we get an over and back? Yes, we do. So Chaminade trying to restart quickly.
And now Kavanaugh does. Chaminade has tied this game one time at 4.
Of course, they led 1-0 early on, and Manhasset got it back pretty quickly. Sean Cutton with a goal today.
Sorella forced him to get rid of the ball.
Kusneric. Now it's Regan Quinn. Quinn, flag coming down.
Yeah, that's a good call. That was a hit to the head, it looked like. And it looks like Sorella is the one who will go off. It's a 1-minute slash, so what an opportunity here with 4:05 to play for Chaminade to level this game at 7.
A penalty coming at a crucial time, 4:05 left.
And it's arguably one of your better defenders as well in Sorella.
The senior captain on the sideline for a minute. At least he's hoping it's a minute. Chaminade 0 for 2 on the man advantage. Up top, Kavanaugh. He'll dump it off for Regan. Regan getting it back to the right side. Kusneric. Everybody getting a touch for Chaminade to the right side. Kusneric stepping in, pulling wide.
20 seconds left on the man-up opportunity.
Keep an eye out for Jake Sexton on the crease for Chaminade. Left side again. That one looked like it caught the knee of Haggerty.
8 seconds remaining, and you are right. Sexton taking up residence on the crease. We're even.
Penalty is released. Goal line extended. Here's Sexton, one cradle, dropped the ball. Kept alive, though, by Aiden Burns of Chaminade.
Yeah, Burns with the pass inside, and he's just unable to hold on to it. Regan Quinn's shot is wide, back up there for Chaminade.
2:46 to go in a one-goal game. And Chaminade will take a timeout. You know, we mentioned at times today in this game, annually between Manhasset and Chaminade, the battle for Regan's Rock to honor Jimmy Regan and to raise money for the charity that his parents started in his memory, the Rangers Lead the Way Foundation. And it's such a charity that has become so entrenched within the lacrosse community. They've got 3 Lead the Way teams that play up at the Lake Placid Summit Classic over the summer. And last year, the Open Division, which is the senior division, the Lead the Way team actually won the Open Division for the first time ever against Burnt Orange. Then there will be Shootout for Soldiers later this year, which is happening in 12 cities across the country, where they play lacrosse on a specific field for 24 hours straight.
Wow.
The Long Island edition of that will be at the Field of Dreams, and it's all over the country. It's Boston, Chicago, Long Island, obviously. And they and the Headstrong Foundation, they are really the 2 organizations from a giving standpoint that are always linked with lacrosse, partially or largely because their foundations, if you will, they're both meant to honor players or guys who lacrosse was such a large part of their life.
Yeah, and that's one of the things I love about this sport, and it's not just a Long Island thing. We see it certainly throughout the country, and especially in the tri-state. It's a small community, and there's a lot of playing for causes, and we saw one earlier today as well out at Shore-Wading River, this 9th annual Lax Out Cancer, where they raise funds. They keep those funds in the community, raise it for children, unfortunately, afflicted by cancer, and they had a nice ceremony before the start of that game, and we are level.
Jump shot by Sean Cutton, his 2nd goal today, and we're tied up at 7 apiece.
Yeah, that looked similar to Christian Kuhn's first goal. A little jump shot, bounce, and back of the cage, 7-all. 2:23 remaining. Buckle up. Third time we are tied. It was 1-1 where Manhasset rallied on a Steve Schneider goal. Then it's 4-4. Jack Sexton scores that one, and now we are tied at 7. Back to the X and a win by Giovanetti.
The last goal for Manhasset came at the 5:50 mark of the 3rd quarter.
And last lead for Chaminade came with 9:39 left in the 1st quarter. 13-5 now, face-offs for Chaminade. Manhasset has not won at the X this half.
After dominating the 1st quarter. Here's to Lira. We're under 2 minutes. And Chaminade looking for their first lead since 2.5 minutes into the game. They'd be more than happy to bookend it. 90 seconds left in regulation. Kusnarek straight away. DeLira on the roll dodge, shoots just wide. He had Haggerty beat.
How fitting might that have been when the number 19 potentially scores the go-ahead goal. Back up there, though, Quinn puts it back into play.
19, the number worn by Jimmy Regan at Chaminade. Regan Quinn might have gotten away with the award. Minute to go. DeLira straight away, rifling up. Was Cutting looking for another one. Haggerty, outlet ahead. Here come the Indians. They love their transition game. 45 seconds to go. No timeout called by Cromwell. He's letting it roll.
And you wonder here if they do.
Here is Mack trying to go one-on-one.
Hold for the
Up
left.
top to the right side. Go-ahead goal. Manhasset. Schneider's 3rd today.
Well, he takes the pass from Kevin Mack, and Schneider just unloads a laser. His 3rd of the day. and 32 seconds left. Manhasset, they are back in front, 8-7.
When we talk about 19 for Chaminade, the number 32 is revered at Manhasset, and it's Steven Schneider wearing it in honor of Johnny Driscoll. 1976 Manhasset graduate, and he puts Manhasset on top with 30 seconds left. And the Indians trying to muck this one up from a face-off perspective, and it's Manhasset coming away with the ground ball.
And then
Timeout
as well
by Cromwell, and Manhasset with 18 seconds left.
And that looked like it was Mark Polano, the freshman. In that massive humanity, somehow finds a way to grab that ground ball.
And Jack Keogh, who's been injured all season, quickly over to give high fives and hugs and congratulations to Matt Polano. 18 seconds left.
And that ball bounced around. Giovanetti thought he had it. Then Delira thought he had it, and there
it was Mark Silos.
Yeah.
Well, Silos, as we talked about, has struggled at the face-off X in this second half, but getting a huge one after Manhasset scored the go-ahead goal with 30 seconds left. Mark Silos, a guy they weren't necessarily going to bring up this year, but he showed some stuff in the preseason, and Keith Cromwell thought at the very least it'll be good to have him up on the roster, push Matt Polano a little bit, because they weren't sure what they were getting at the face-off X, and Silos has progressively gotten better. They've improved. Both those guys have pushed each other and improved each other. And now, can Manhasset hold on for 18 seconds?
Well, Schneider, who might be your strongest guy with the ball.
Well, Schneider ducks inside, feeds it across, and Schneider will send it to the corner, and they say that Chaminade deflected it.
Well, it was a shot attempt.
He'll pick it up with 7 seconds left. That one a little dangerous. I think he's jumping the gun a little bit. Sends this one way up into the air. It'll be caught by a Manhasset player, and time runs out. So Chaminade battled back to tie it twice, but Manhasset, the stronger team today, as they go ahead with 31 seconds left and hold on after that.
A big win for the Indians. It's back-to-back in this annual series, which is now in its 10th year. So Manhasset, a huge win. I mean, talk about back-to-back statement wins for the Indians. They get it on consecutive Saturdays.
Well, the first time in 3 seasons that the visiting team will hoist Regs Rock, and Manhasset will win it today by a score of 8-7 at Chaminade as Manhasset wins their 11th game of the year. We'll be back. We'll close it out in a moment. More to come from Chaminade High School.
You watch because it's your home, your school, your team, because it's your brother, sister, daughter, and son. Because you love the "can you believe it, did you see that?" and the "oh my goodness, what a win" moments. So yeah, you watch. Never miss a moment. Download the News 12 Varsity app today.
Manhasset hoists Regs Rock 8-7 today, a win over Chaminade. And now Steve Schneider joins us. 3 goals today, including the game winner. Steve, after Chaminade ties it, you have the ball in your stick. What are you thinking? What are you looking for as you set up for the game-winning goal there?
Well, 2 plays before, Kevin throws me a perfect pass, and I dropped the ball. I actually didn't even catch it. Ball went over the midfield line, and then they ended up scoring and tying, and I was freaking out, and I said I need to make up for that bad play. So Kevin, dynamic player that he is, coming from X, made an unbelievable play, and I did the easy stuff and just had a nice 10-yard step down. But it was all credit to Kevin. He started that play.
Not only that, but Silos struggled at the face-off X throughout the whole second half, but came up with the face-off after you had the go-ahead goal. What did you see transpire on that play?
Absolutely. Mark is an absolute workhorse. He's an unbelievable player, and the testament to a great player is you make some not so great plays, and then you come back, and that was the biggest play of the game. Him winning that face-off.
So Woodstick, Riggs Rock, senior year is going pretty well for you so far.
Senior year is freaking awesome. I can't ask for a better group of teammates and coaches to play for, and we're not close to where we want to be, but we got still got a lot of work to do. But this feels pretty freaking great right now.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Steve Schneider with 3 goals today in the winning effort for Manhasset as they defeat Chaminade on the road today, 8-7 to win Riggs Rock. That'll do it for everybody involved in our broadcast. For our producer Tom Schnars, for Dylan Butler, Amanda Puglisi, and Bob Stack, I'm Matt Shortis saying so long, and we'll catch you next time on News 12 Varsity.